management skills. So for today's meeting, for Seaside, we start our meetings every 1 to 3 p.m. every first and second Saturdays of every new month. To help us get started into this meeting, I'd like to establish some ground rules to help us run the meeting smoothly. First, if you are not speaking or playing a role, I'd like to kindly encourage you to mute your microphones. This will help avoid inappropriate sounds in the course of the meeting. If you are speaking or playing a role, I'd like to encourage you to kindly unmute yourself and kindly enable your videos so we could see you, and also the evaluators could be able to get key data to be able to carry on the evaluations. I'd like to encourage everyone to always refer to the comment section, as we'll be posting relevant information at the comment section to drive the meeting effort smoothly. If you are a member of Toastmaster, we would like to encourage you to include TM behind your name. And for you to do that, you kindly navigate to participants and you identify yourself, or you navigate to chats and you identify yourself and click on rename to be able to include TM behind your name. At the end of each speech category or evaluation section, a voting prompt will pop up on your screen. I would like to encourage you to kindly vote the person you feel had done justice to the speeches or evaluation delivered. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to create a positive and supportive learning experience where members are able to develop their leadership and communication skills. Without further ado, I'd like to call on the person that will take this meeting forward. He is a senior finance management executive and chartered account professional. He is married with kids, and he is no other person than Toastmaster Ebrima Sawani. Please, with a virtual round of applause, I'd like us to usher in the president of the Seaside Toastmasters Club to take this meeting forward. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ebube. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to another meeting of Seaside Toastmasters Club. Today is a very exciting, and to some extent we can also say it is emotional. For those of you who knows, this is the last meeting of Seaside in the current Toastmasters year. So probably I would say this is the last meeting I'm chairing as the president of this great club. We are sometimes in May, we've elected a new set of executives. And if you looked at it, that was the reason why we picked the theme of our meeting, which is Learn to Travel. Learn to Travel actually has so many things inside it. It depends on how you interpret it. If we travel from Lagos, probably you went all the way to East, you will learn something. If you travel from Nigeria to other parts of the world, whether it's in Africa, Europe, Asia, you will learn something. But if for a moment we remove the physical travel out of it, let's take it from what we do. You are working for an organization. The learn to travel can be applied what you do in that office. You are working as a sales team member. You can travel to understand what happens in the operations, what happens in the finance, because it gives you an overview of that organization. If you are a leader, you cannot be effective if you do not travel to understand what happens in the overall organization. In our personal lives, we can only enjoy life if we learn to travel out of our comfort zones. We know that we have new members that will lead the club's affairs, but we can travel with this new EXCO by joining the various subcommittees that will support them. For the members who have been members since they joined, you are not taking the full benefit of the Toastmasters platform if you do not learn to travel to take leadership roles, whether at the club level, at the area level, division level, or at the project levels. Learn to travel is very big. And I think the quote of the day just summarized everything for us. A wall is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page, from a philosopher, St. Augustine. If you stay at only one place, whether it's your mindset, your work, you are just reading only one page. Imagine that book you love, but you read only one page, you are still curious what is happening on the other side of that book. And this applies to everything. It's important for all of us to learn to travel, whatever thing we do. Without much ado, today we have a traveler among us who is going to be our Toastmaster of the day. Again, learn to travel will also mean going to other clubs, participate as a Toastmaster, evaluator, grammarian, any role. But it changes you when you move out of that comfort zone in Seaside to another club, because you are new to them and they are new to you. Our Toastmaster of the day is somebody who you will find out if you don't know her, is very respectful lady. She has a very strong, and I would say a peculiar passionate about LPG. Why I say that, I've not heard many people expressing that all they are pushing for is for us to look at clean energy. LPG is found one of the cleanest energy we can consume. And I read a very short story on her LinkedIn profile where she made a comparison of, imagine a woman cooking with our traditional firewood, consuming all that energy that can later impact her health. Imagine we have a wall with a clean energy. It reminds me of my own mom, because throughout much part of her life, she cooks with those firewood. Imagine we could have a clean energy that will save the life of many people. I'm not an expert, but I know we have an expert with us. She will tell you more about clean energy in a different way. You just have to listen to her for you to understand. For anything she speaks about is going to be about clean energy. She's a coordinator of Women in LPG in Nigeria chapter. She has even founded her own business called Across 360 that do advisory on clean energy. I just found this thing in the last 2-3 days after knowing her about 2 or 3 years ago, where we've met in one of the table topic competition where she emerged as a winner for the area. So you realize that in these Toastmasters, we have people who are strong Toastmasters, but they have much more impactful activities beyond what we see in Toastmasters. Let's meet our traveler who joined Toastmasters in 2018, and she loves to meet new people. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, please let's welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster George Selling.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Good afternoon, TM Ebrima. That was such a heartwarming introduction. I'm going to nominate you to become an ally of the women in LPG. A lot of times people hear women in LPG and they think it's just for women, but it's open to both men and women. And by this introduction, you are going to become an ally. Good afternoon, guests. I am absolutely delighted to make my sojourn into Seaside Toastmasters. And what a better day to travel down here than a day where the theme is learn to travel. I'm going to be a Toastmaster of the day. And what that simply means is that you could think of me as the captain of a ship, and I'm going to be steering this ship, ensuring that the meeting is as seamless and enjoyable as possible. For the benefit of those who are just joining the meeting for the first time, a typical Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. You have the first part, which is called the table topics, where you learn to speak impromptu. You are being given a question that you're not prepared for. And what this helps you do is what we all know, the elevator speech. Now, the second part is the real deal, where people have been given different topics to prepare for, and they come and make a prepared presentation to all Toastmasters and guests. Now, the final part, which is the part that I like the most, is the evaluation, where everybody gets evaluated. The speakers, the role players, everybody gets a piece of that cake. Now, remember I said I am the captain of the ship today, but I'm not going to be doing that alone. As with any successful voyage, I will be doing that with a team of amiable and competent Toastmasters. I will start by introducing, I beg your pardon, the general evaluator in the person of TM Ruth Apuka. TM Ruth, I'm so happy to work with you on this journey today. TM Ruth is a supply chain professional in the FMCG industry. Just in case you're wondering, FMCG simply means fast-moving consumer goods like your toothpaste, your soap, and all of those things you use on a daily basis. She says that she loves to read, she loves to travel, and her favorite quote is, becoming is better than being. I second that with a quote of my own, which says, it is better to be. It is better to be so that with what you are, you will have. And without much ado, can we please put our hands together and welcome with a resounding round of applause, TM Ruth Apuka.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the day. It's a privilege and an honor to have you in Seaside Toastmasters today. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll be the general evaluator for today. As the general evaluator, what do you expect of me? So my job as general evaluator is to basically anchor the evaluation session of this meeting. In Seaside in Toastmasters in general, we believe in continuous improvement. We believe that you get better by doing. So as the general evaluator, I'll be evaluating our meeting today to tell us what we have done very well and what we need to improve upon, so that when we come for the next meeting, it will be better than today's meeting. Also, I will not be doing this alone, because Seaside Toastmasters, as well as Toastmasters International, is a well-rounded organization. I won't be evaluating this meeting alone. I'll be working with a team who will also be evaluating the meeting alongside me, so that we can have a well-rounded evaluation of the meeting. And I'm going to be calling upon them shortly so that they can explain what we should expect of them during the course of this meeting. Our first role player for today is our grammarian. He is a very, very, very well-known member of the Seaside Toastmasters Club. He has been in this club since 2012. He's a father of 2. He loves volleyball. If you know him, you know this. He loves volleyball. He's the current growth director of Division F in Toastmasters International. And he's also someone that I respect dearly, a mentor of mentors. And he's going to be calling upon the virtual Lenten shortly to explain what we should expect of him. And our grammarian for today is Toastmaster John Oninia. Toastmaster John, you have the virtual Lenten, please.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. It's a pleasure to see so many people traveling from far and wide to be at this meeting. Please excuse me, my son wants to join and learn a bit of vocabulary. Let me send him out. Thank you so much for your patience. My job as a grammarian is very simple. I'll be covering three things. First, I'll be introducing you to the word of the day. And the word of the day is accede, accede, which means to agree or express agreement. The idea here is that you please utilize the word of the day as you come up to the virtual screen to speak. For those of you that have the agenda, you'll see that some synonyms are written there: agree, consent, subscribe. The second synonym that is written there is actually an error. What is written there is acquire. It should be acquiesce, not acquire. We apologize, that's an error from our part. Please try and use the word of the day when you come up. I said I'm going to be doing three things. The two other ones, the second one to be specific, is I'm going to take note of lovely phrases and sentences, maybe quotes that really stick out and are quite powerful. And the third one is I'm going to take note of errors that are made during the course of this meeting. And I have already commenced my job. I'm sure by the end, when I come to deliver my report, each and every one of you will accede with me that indeed you had fun and you learned at least one new thing. Over to you, the general evaluator for today.
Please, a round of applause for our grammarian for today. Thank you very much, Toastmaster John. So my next role player for today is our timer for today. And I'll be calling upon him to explain his role. Before I call him to the virtual lesson, I'd just like to introduce him. Our timekeeper for today is a banker. He's very open-minded. If you know him, you can testify to that. He has a very good sense of humor. He's a passionate professional. He loves networking and discussing ways of improving how to work. He is proficient in Excel, VBA, SQL, FX, Python, card payments, data analytics, and reconciliation. He is very, very, very much interested in teaching you if you want to learn, because he has mentored and helped improve colleagues and friends in using MX Excel, data visualization and analysis, and many more. So our timekeeper for today is Toastmaster Pa Malik Ba. Toastmaster Pa Malik Ba, you have the virtual lesson, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator, for that spiffing introduction. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. My name is Toastmaster Malik, and I am the timekeeper for today. So I think most of us had this expression, time and tide, wait for no man, right? So if we want to have a very efficient meeting, time must be managed. If you mismanage your time, one, you can lose your flight, or you can miss your flight when you're traveling by air. If you do not manage your time, you may not have a very effective and efficient meeting. So my role today is to manage the time allocated to the various speakers in the different segments, as mentioned by our captain. Like she said, she's the captain of the ship. That's our Toastmasters of today. So she said she's the captain of the ship. So I'm supporting her in managing the time each of the speakers deliver in the various segments. So for the first segment, which is the prepared speech segment, speakers are allotted 5 to 7 minutes, of which 5 minutes is the minimum time of which they should speak, and 7 minutes is the maximum time of which they should speak. So I have different cards that I will pop up in the screen. And at, let's say, sorry about that. I'll just pop up the cards just to show you that this will be popping up in your screen. If you meet the minimum time, you will see this card. Let me know if you see this card. So it says your written time, right? So you will see this card. That is when you reach the minimum time allotted for your speech. If the time allotted is almost elapsed, you will see another warning card, which is the yellow card, just to notify the speaker that the time allotted is almost ending. So the speaker has some little time to wrap up his or her speech. And then finally, you will see the red card, which actually warns you that your time is up. And then you have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. There you go. So that's for the prepared speech segment, and for the table topic speech segment, you have about 1 minute minimum to speak, and then a maximum of 2 minutes. At the end of the meeting, I'll give a report of those speakers who have spoken within the allotted time. Thank you very much. Back to you, the Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pamalikba. And finally, the last member of my team, and certainly not the least member, is the accountant for today. Before I call him to the virtual lantern, our accountant for today has a background in electronics and computer science. He's working currently in the telecom industry. He joined Toastmasters in 2018. He loves traveling, driving, and reading. Our accountant for today is Toastmaster Richard Cadio. Richard, you have a lecture later, please.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. My name is Kwadio Richard, and I'm the accountant of today's meeting. My role is basically to watch and listen to everybody that will be speaking at this meeting and pay attention to any post filler that they are going to use, like and so, you mean, and so on. And at the end of this meeting, I'll come back and give my report to help them improve on their next speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Richard. When the grammarian said he had already started to do his job, my heart skipped a bit. Joy, I hope you haven't made any grammatical errors yet. But yes, we are ready. We will start with the table topics session, and I will be introducing the table topics master in the person of Toastmaster Obiora FOB. Toastmaster Obiora, are you on the call? Kindly put on your Yes. Toastmaster Obiora, if you can hear me, please let me know you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes.
I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. I am trying to pull up Toastmaster Obiora's bio. Okay, I can't seem to find it among all the profiles I have. I'll have to apologize, TM Obiora. If you could kindly do a 20-second introduction of yourself and take over the table topic session. I apologize.
Okay, that's fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And distinguished guests in the room. My name is Obiora.
We can't hear you, TM Obiora.
TM Obiora, we can't hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
I think it's better. It's better now than before.
Hello.
We can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. I think it's having a bad network.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
We can.
Yes,
I don't know what went wrong. I think
some technical issues. I'm sorry about that. So for introduction, my name is Obiora Obi. I am the principal consultant of a company named Seaside International Limited. What we do is we support ship owners with commercial aspect of shipping, which entails ship sales and purchase and ship chartering. So this is what I do on a day-to-day basis. For those that know me before now, I like good food. And for leisure, I play lawn tennis for leisure. So my role today is the table topics master. What is table topics? For benefit of those who may not be aware, table topics is a section in Toastmasters where we speak impromptu. Impromptu speech means speaking without any form of preparation. So my job today is to anchor this section. So I have a list of questions which I have drafted. They are very fun questions in my view. Normally I prefer this role, but while I was drafting these questions, I would have wanted to be at the other side so that I could answer some of them. So you are encouraged to participate because you really enjoy the questions. So to start off, there are about 6 questions that I've prepared. So I'll just take them one after another in the order of how I have listed them. So I'm going to call on, okay, I think first of all, we can have volunteers. I would like a Toastmaster to volunteer to answer the first question, please. Any volunteer, please. You just show by a raise of hand, or you can unmute your mic and indicate by saying, yes, I volunteer.
Am I allowed to volunteer?
Okay, that's fine. So the first question, is about cultural shock. I don't know if you had watched a movie called Mr. Boom. In that movie, the people in a particular village, their form of greeting was to slap one another. For example, I want to greet you, I'll give you a slap, and you slap me back. So for me, I saw that movie, for me, that was a cultural shock. So could you share with us, so the question to you now is, could you share with us in your past experience traveling to various places, what culture?
Can you take the question again? The line went off in the mid-question. Can I share with you a personal experience on cultural shock? Is that the question?
Yes,
okay.
That's the question, yes.
Good morning once again, Toastmasters and guests, and thank you for the opportunity to be the Toastmaster of the day and to participate in the table topic session. That's a very easy question because a very personal, vivid experience comes to mind. About 8 years ago, I had the very rare opportunity to visit one of the deepest parts of Asia, and that was Indonesia. First of all, it's the longest travel I have ever been on in my entire existence. First of all, we took a trip to Dubai, and then from Dubai down to Indonesia. It's the kind of journey when you look on the screen, the only thing you can see is water, water, water. And I kept on thinking in my head, when are we going to land in this country? Fast forward 16 hours after we left Dubai, we landed in Jakarta. Believe me, it's one of the most beautiful places you would ever have the opportunity to visit. Now, Jakarta wasn't my final destination. I was going to Bali, Bali is one of the islands in Indonesia, but we had a 2-night stopover in Jakarta. Now, Jakarta is predominantly, they have the largest Muslim population in the entire world. So as with any young traveler, we went to the mall, and you could imagine people, just standing there and looking like, who are these people? What do they want? What could they be looking out here for? But it was an eye-opener as to one of the benefits of travel, because by the time I went back to the hotel and I came back, the next time I saw people looking at me, I would wave back at them like, okay, I'm human, I'm Black, there are Black people in the world. But it just occurred to me that there are people who do not understand that you could have people of color outside of their own race. So it was an eye-opener as to the benefits of travel, and I look forward to more cultural shocks in the coming years. So thank you very much.
Thank you, TM Joy. Thank you. So our next question, I would prefer a visitor in the house, a guest in the house, to take this second question. Could we have a volunteer, a guest in the room? Any volunteer?
Someone has their hand up. Obiora.
I didn't take notes.
Bashi is volunteering.
Bashi.
Yeah.
Okay, Bashi, could you unmute your mic? Hello, Bashi.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Bashi. You're welcome. Thank you for volunteering for this section. So I'll read the question for you, and you will take the virtual lectern and speak to us. And the question is, tell us about the food you enjoyed during your past journey, or a food you plan to eat in your future journey. I don't know, perhaps you plan to visit somewhere and you're eyeing their food. So you tell us about the food, or whichever one you want to choose. Tell us the food you ate in the past that you want us to hear about. Over to you, Bashir.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So the question was the food I enjoyed on my last journey, right? And the one the one I'm looking forward to eat on my next journey. Is that the question?
Either or. You can choose any of them and speak about any of them.
Okay, thank you. So the last time I had a trip to Jos, I'm not really sure if that food is peculiar to that section of the country, that part of the country. But when I went to Jos around 2019, it was the last quarter of 2019, I encountered something, but I still can't remember the name of the food. I encountered when I visited a local government called Shandam in Plateau State. So basically, the food is made with, I think, corn and I can't really remember the makeup or the name of the food, but I was skeptical to it because I am a picky eater. I don't really eat anything I don't know. But when we got there, the restaurant we went to, we only saw that food and no other choice but to order. So I ordered the food thinking I would not enjoy, but I definitely enjoyed the food. But what I will look forward to eat right now that I'm in Lagos is amala, because I've been hearing about amala, and I think it's something I should look forward to testing. I have siblings that have been saying amala is overrated, but people here in Lagos are saying otherwise. So probably amala is the next thing I'll look forward to try. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Bashir. Thank you. I think I've tested Amala once or twice. I can't quite remember. Amala Mewedu. You would like to try it. So the next question, I would want a guest as well to participate. So if you're a guest in the house and you want to participate, could you please volunteer to speak?
Second or third time, we come to
Any volunteer in the room?
May I volunteer?
Oh, yes, you may. Olorun Leke.
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, please. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, when you look into your bucket list of places you would like to visit, could you share with us the place you plan to visit next and why? Over to you.
The place I'd like to visit. Thank you, Toastmaster. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
yes, fine.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Well, there are several places in the world I would love to visit. Examples include places like New York, London, Bali that the other Toastmaster mentioned, but Vancouver, British Columbia. But the one that stands out to me the most is New York, for various reasons. New York is the financial capital of the world, and that's not particularly the reason why I like the place. Is a place that has a lot of talent and a lot of talented people, a lot of artists, a lot of creative people. And you will accede with me that in such a place, there will be a lot of creativity, a lot of creativity, a lot of innovations, a lot of progress, a lot of tolerance. And of course, it goes in hand with the capital available to make dreams realizable, to make dreams achievable. A person could come up with an idea today, and right next to, down the street, could get the finance to build your idea to save the world or to basically change humanity forever. So New York for me is one of those places I would love to visit, simply because it's the melting point of our creativity and the finances to achieve the goal. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Olorun Leke. Thank you for telling us about New York. So for the next question, I would want a Toastmaster who is not playing a role to volunteer to speak. Someone who has not spoken or who will not speak within the meeting, perhaps someone who is not playing a role or giving a speech. Okay, anyone can volunteer.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
Do you
I
want to
would select someone from the list. CM Ibrahim, do you want to try?
Jeremy Ibrahim is giving a speech.
Okay, anyone, either a guest or...
This is the last one.
Okay.
Okay, so let me volunteer since we need somebody to volunteer. You want a Toastmaster?
Yes, okay. Since this is the last one, I'll give you the last question. Based on your past experience with respect to preparation to travel, what advice the room?
Sorry, I think we lost you there a minute. I think based on your past experience, after that we lost you.
Okay, let me repeat the question. Based on your past experience with journey preparation, what advice would you offer anyone in the audience who is preparing to travel?
This is a very interesting question. It depends. Who are you traveling with? And I will tell you a story. You can take your advice from it. People are different. Some people can prepare themselves, they organize their paper, but my family is different. When it comes to travel, I organize everything. If it's something we need visa for, I organize it. For the passport, every document, I put them in my bag. Interestingly, twice I was traveling with my wife. I just hope Pamalik wouldn't tell my wife this story. When we traveled to our country in the Gambia, I was coming back before her. She packed all the bags. Now she put her passport in my bag. It was when I arrived in Nigeria, I realized that her passport was inside my bag. And I wondered, okay, how can I avoid this? I thought I should pack my bag for myself if I'm traveling. To make the matters worse, when we traveled to another country, I traveled, packed my bags to return home, and I came with her passport. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that in preparing for travel, it is important you organize yourself, you looked at what are the basic things you need. Is it about the visa? Now, is it about the COVID test? In these days, COVID test is more important than your passport and your visa.
Yeah.
And arranging the right travels at your destination. Is it from the airport to the hotel? If you are traveling by the road, understanding the risks that is involved in that road. The key message is preparations is very important for a traveler. Like in things we do in life, anything you want to do, you need to prepare yourself ahead of that journey. Thank you very much, the Table Topic Master.
Thank you, TMA Prima. Thank you. That was a very interesting experience. I'm just wondering how she managed to get her passport back. Okay, at this point, we've come to the end of the Table Topics segment. I would thank everyone that spoke, that participated, that volunteered. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, TM Obiora. That was okay. Okay, we couldn't hear you. I apologize. I wasn't trying to speak over you. Thank you. That was a very engaging session. I totally enjoyed all of the questions, and I kept on wishing I was asked any of the other questions. So very quickly, we will be, can the polls go up for the best table topic speaker while the table topics evaluator gets ready? We'll just have the polls in a bit. So the polls are up. And I will be introducing the table topics evaluator in the person of Toastmaster Folu Olumideko. She is a brand and digital marketing expert who currently heads the media and communications team at a consulting firm. She also runs a branding and marketing company alongside. She was a former vice president, VPR, and PQD at Toastmasters. I love this. She says she loves her job. She enjoys great conversations and she loves to hang out with her friends. Can we please make welcome the table topics evaluator TM Folu Olumideko. You're welcome.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joy. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Thank you for the warm introduction. So quickly, kudos to all the speakers, especially the volunteers. Thanks for volunteering, even when people decided not to say anything or not to engage. So I will start with Toastmaster Joy, who was the first speaker. She gave us a story. I love stories. Everybody likes stories. So talked about travel. I love traveling as well. So I could really relate to what you were saying. We followed your story from the beginning to the end. I literally didn't want your story to end. I wanted to hear what happened and then what happened. Okay, it's a Muslim country. What happened? What did they do? So it was very engaging. You're very eloquent. It was very easy to understand. Very well done. What would I like you to do better? I'd like you to use the word of the day. So please take note of that. Guest Bashir, I like that you attempted the question. You're actually the first bold guest to say, oh yeah, ask me any question. You told us about the food in Just. You also talked about Amala and the humor, you know, how people always just like to create a conversation around stuff like that. So I like that you put that or injected that into your speech. What would I like you to do better? There were a lot of pauses in your speech, and which distracted a bit. And we also didn't see your face. We really like to see faces when you're talking at Toastmasters. For guest Olorunke, I hope I got that right. I like that you immediately answered the question, what are the countries you like to visit? Immediately you reeled out a list of countries you like to visit. I like how you singled out New York, and I like how you built on that point by explaining the reasons you liked New York. You also used the word of the day, which was amazing. What would I like you to do better? A number of pauses in your speech, without which your speech would have been fantastic. So please take note of that. And to our amazing president, you told us a story. I mean, you've mastered this because stories will always engage the audience. And so, when you said, let me tell you a story, my ears, I literally forgot I was evaluating. I just started listening to the story. You gave advice to travelers from your story. Your speech had an intro, body, and an ending, but I didn't hear the word of the day, which would have been nice. All in all, everybody did a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, TM Folu. Thank you for that very constructive evaluation and feedback. And on that note, we will be closing on this part of the meeting. We would recede for a short break till 1:55. So we have all of 5 minutes to mingle and socialize, and we would be back by 1:55 for the second part of the meeting. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. I was about to start. Thank you. Okay, so good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. try and maximize this networking segment to see how to meet our new guests, people who are joining us for the first time, and then just allow you to just introduce yourself. We'd like to meet you, like to know you by your name, and we also like to know who invited you and how the meeting has been so far. So I will start with Mr. Bashir. So once I call you, please kindly unmute yourself and just introduce yourself. Mr. Bashir Shaib, I'm very sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Please, are you still on the call with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please, we would like to meet you, sir.
Okay, my name is Shaib Muhammad Bashir, as you said earlier. Mr. Toastmaster John invited me, and he has done that for 4 consecutive times now. So I'm not really a guest. I'm actually a Toastmaster. Or should I say, I was a Toastmaster in Abuja before coming over. I joined towards the end of last year, but I haven't had the opportunity to attend a physical meeting before coming to Lagos. Work brought me here, and they connected me to TM John, and he has really been helpful in trying to get me to attend meetings online. So thank you.
You're welcome. This is Seaside Toastmasters Club, and we would love you to join us. And we're a family. We're here to grow on our public speaking skills. So you're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so I would call on Beleme Oduma. Please, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please? Beleme Oduma, are you still with us?
Thank you very much. My name is Olema Oduma. I'm a medical doctor, and I was invited by TM and I would say I'm glad to be here. It's actually my first time, and I enjoy every segment, and I see everything that has been said on the topic segment. Very
Well, you're welcome, sir. I got that for the first time. You are very much welcome, and we believe that this is the place for you to be. And immediately after this meeting, our team will follow up on you so we could be able to communicate to you how to become a member. Please, Emeka Obieke, could you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself? We would like to meet you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Emeka Obieke. I'm actually with 2000 Trainers Toastmasters Club in Lagos.
Okay.
I got connected to Seaside Toastmasters through my LinkedIn application and networking. And I asked for some invite to come to your meeting, and here I am. We were sent this afternoon, so I said, let me join and see how you operate as well. It's a good thing you have going on here. Keep it up, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I will look forward to having you as a member, and probably one of these days you will anchor one of this session.
It is well. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Queen Edet, please, are you still on the call? Could you please unmute yourself, and we'd like to meet you. Queen Edet, N. Okay, Queen Edet, are you still on the call? Okay, I would like to leave the ground open for anyone that wants to volunteer to introduce himself as a guest. We would like to meet you. We want to know you, who introduced you, and how far the meeting has fared. Are you enjoying the meeting? Okay, let me call on just one more person. Olorun Leke Opoyemi. I'm very sorry. Opoyemi, please unmute yourself.
Well, I accede. Okay, thank you. I accede your request to introduce myself. My name is Opoyemi Olorun Leke. I joined the Toast. I came last week to the Toastmasters meeting. I wasn't actually invited by anyone. I wanted to improve my presentation skills and public speaking skills, and I found out that Toastmasters was the best way to do it. That was why I came. And I liked it so much last week, I decided to join again this week. And I hope to continue to join henceforth. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. On this note, we would like to say a very big welcome to every one of you guests that has joined us today. We are very glad that you took our time amidst your very busy schedule to want to be part of this meeting. With Seaside Toastmaster Club, we hold our meetings every first and second Saturdays of every new month from 1 p.m. through 3 p.m. And one of our objectives is to see that we develop our public speaking, communication, leadership, and management skills. And so far, we have a whole lot of positive feedbacks. There have been a whole lot of people who had little or no idea about this public speaking, communication, leadership, and management skills. And from when they joined Seaside, they were able to develop these skills, and they have applied it on their own professional lives, which have made them much more better from what they were before. So we would like to have you as a member, and would like to request that you kindly drop your email on the comment section so that we could follow up on you immediately after the meeting. Thank you once more, and you're welcome. So I will hand back control to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, TM Ebube. And on that note, we will be heading to the second part of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches section. The first speaker we have on the roll call today is Toastmaster Ajani Ibrahim Dapo. He joined Toastmasters in November of 2020, and he is a land surveyor. His hobbies are playing chess, watching football, and watching sitcoms. He will be evaluated by TM Caroline Bokeshemi. I hope you'll teach me how to pronounce your name, please. But TM Caroline joined Toastmasters in 2020, and she currently serves as the Sergeant at Arms at BSN Toastmasters Club. She has found passion in helping people live healthily, both lifestyle and in clean and healthy environments by providing clean services. Her mantra is, "It's not over until I win." Wow. I'd like to borrow that mantra, even if it's just for today. So TM Caroline, you're welcome. Kindly read out TM Ajani Ibrahim Dapo's objectives to him.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, TM John. You're one of the few persons who have actually pronounced the name Bokeshmi very well the first time you pronounced it. Well done.
Thank you.
I will be evaluating TM Ibrahim Ajani. He's going to be speaking from the presentation mastery manual, and is doing his third project, which is on persuasive speaking. The title of his speech today is titled, "What is in a Name?" The purpose of this speech is for TM Ajani to be able to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech. I'm going to be looking out for his clarity and his understanding of this topic. TM Ajani, I do hope you're going to actually make me understand what types of persuasive speeches we have. I wish you good luck. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, TM Caroline. So TM Ajani, you have been introduced. Kindly go ahead with your speech.
So I have been introduced, and you already know my name already, Ajani Ibrahim. But there are three things you don't know about me yet. I share the same birthday with Lionel Messi, June 24. Number two, Wizkid is my namesake. His name is Ibrahim too. And number 3, just like Cristiano Ronaldo, I was named after a president. Ronaldo was named after Ronaldo again. Our president I was named after, I'll tell you later. See, I've got big shoes to fill. I do not take credit for any of those glamorous game-changing facts that I just listed. All the credit, of course, should go to my parents. When I was in my mother's stomach, my father said to her, you know what? See that baby you're carrying? When he's born, I'm going to name him after whoever the current president of Nigeria is. Yeah. So when I landed on this planet, my father kept his word. I was named after the current president of Nigeria then, the magnificent IBB, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, who infamously annulled the June 12, 1993 general elections. So if you're enjoying the public holiday at home, you're welcome. But if you are still angry about that election, well, you are not alone. So what's in a name really? Historical connotations aside, what does the name Ibrahim really mean? Actually, I don't know myself. So on Thursday, I checked it out on Google, and I found out that the name Ibrahim means father of many. But as somebody who doesn't have a child yet and who isn't planning to have more than 2 or 3, how then could I be the father of many? Distinguished Toastmasters and our highly esteemed guest, I have a request for you, and I would like you to accede to that request. And my request is simple. I would like you to use the chat box, write your name in the chat box, and tell me the meaning of your name. Please, I would like to know the meaning of your names. Please, let's use the chat box. Write your name in the chat box. Okay, I see Tia Malik, King, respect. I bow. Ayola Pade, joy of wealth. That's beautiful. Tiem Amarashi, grace of God. Tiem Kumiyo, she's delivered. That's awesome. Tiem Queen Edet, queen, of course. Tiem Francis means free. Chukudi means say God. That's beautiful. Chukemeka, God is good. Belema, love. I love that. That's cool. Caroline, strong woman. I like strong women. TM Roots, I'm waiting for you. Okay, compassionate friend, that's lovely. That's obvious. Obiora, Edfara. Thank you all for participating. You all have beautiful names and with wonderful interpretations. Joy, happiness, I like that. I really love your names. Oh, but unfortunately, I can't continue to take the meaning of all those names. But thank you for participating. Today, I'm going to go on to attempt to answer a question. Does a person's name have the power to influence the trajectory of their life? Does a person's name have the power to influence the trajectory of their life? Is Barack Obama so blessed because his name Barack literally means blessed? Is Chimamanda so successful because her name Chimamanda means my God would never fail me? My answer is this: yes, Barack Obama is blessed because, among other reasons, of course, his name Barack means blessing. And Chimamanda is successful because, among other reasons, again, of course, her name Chimamanda means my God will never fail me. So how can God fail her? Names do matter. We, the Yoruba people, we have a saying that Oruko Omoni Romo, that is, the name that a person bears would always influence a person. So if your name is Barack, just relax, work hard, get a good degree, work hard again, and live in America, and you will be blessed. Barack Obama and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie are 2 examples of a person's name working positively for them. An example of somebody whose name did not really work positively for him was Malcolm X. You see, when Malcolm X was born, his parents gave him the name Malcolm Little. While anyone would give their child the name called Malcolm Little is still a little beyond me. So when Malcolm Little turned 27 years old, he got angry. He was like, I'm done with this name. Malcolm Little, what? I'm no more Malcolm Little. Henceforth, call me Malcolm X or nothing else. So from that day, Malcolm Little became Malcolm X. But Malcolm X understands one thing, that at the core of a person's identity is the name that he or she enters. is the name that he or she answers. So again, Malcolm X changed his name from Malcolm X to Malik El Shabazz. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so he changed his name to Malik El Shabazz. Although Malcolm X was his name that got stuck, that got famous, Malik El Shabazz was the name that he passed on to his children. Now you see, ladies and gentlemen, that a person's name has a power to influence the trajectory of their life. So whenever you have the opportunity to give a child a name, do not give them a name just to feel good about yourself. Do not give them a name just to flatter yourself. Give them a name that is powerful. Give them a name that is meaningful. Give them a name that they could count on during trials and tribulations. Give them a name like Ajani, which means someone who fights to possess, because a child named Ajani would never, ever give up on his or herself. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, TM Ibrahim Ajani Dakpo. I've heard so much. We know so many things about a name, and I totally agree that the name of a person actually goes a long way. It's not everything, but it goes a long way in determining how that person would fare. Right on to our next speaker, TM Queen Nkubre. TM Queen I would be introducing TM Queen very quickly. She joined Toastmasters in 2016 and is the current Vice President Education of Lighthouse Prestige Club. She works in a nonprofit organization for people with disabilities. And due to her passion for health and wellness, she's also a women's dance coach teaching exotic fitness. She enjoys reading and writing. That's a new one to the exotic fitness. TM Queen, you're going to be telling me a little bit about exotic fitness today. And she'll be evaluated by TM Amarachi Asinobi, who is a certified HR professional currently working within the oil and gas industry. She's passionate about human capital development and leverages social media to share knowledge. She enjoys public speaking. I beg your pardon, just 1 second. She enjoys public speaking, good music, and learning new things. So can we please have TM Amarachi read out TM Queen's objectives to her?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. So I will be evaluating Toastmaster Queen's speech, and she's currently on her level 3, project 2, on persuasive influence pathway. And the purpose of her speech is to begin to develop a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. So Toastmaster Queen, I really, really love to laugh. So I'm looking forward to your speech and I wish you well. Thank you.
TM Queen, the floor is yours.
I once had a Ghanaian classmate, Aaron Opoku, really smart guy. We were both studying in the UK. So friendship, after all, our countries. During this time, during a break from academic books, I would usually read a fictional book as well. This time around, I was reading a book whose title or cover could be easily misconstrued. So I had the habit of turning it front side down. And this usually worked for me. I mean, imagine if you're reading a book at work called How to Eliminate Your Competition at Work, or How to Get Your Boss pools of power. You would agree with me that you might choose to do the same thing I did or read it at home. One day, while working on the computer, with my book stacked in a neat pile beside me, the smallest book, the novel, of course, was turned front side down. And started making small talk. He asked what book I was reading. I hesitated to respond. And so he flipped it. The book was called Ghana Must Go. And we both burst out laughing. He soon went on to tell me how Ghanaians had done the same to Nigerians in retaliation. We could both laugh because we knew our history and had made our peace with it. Even though he refused to accede that our jollof rice was better, we had made our peace with this side of our history. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, history is very important and underappreciated, if you ask me. Be a source of lessons, a part, and give a more accurate picture of. Still in the same class, I had a Canadian and an American. And one day they were both joking around, throwing jabs at. I don't remember, the American made a, but the Canadian made a statement that stood out. She essentially went, so don't you remember in like 1812, Canada defeated the US and burned. So like, if you want to come for you, if you want to come for us, we can also come for you. It was a joke, we all laughed, but there was a subtle message beneath it. She was essentially saying, we are equals, don't try me. But what stood out was her level of pride in where she was from and who she was and what she knew she could do. Her history. And so that spurred me on in my quest to learn more about history. Another history lesson I got was in secondary school. No, it wasn't during a history class. It was during an English. The teacher had told us to each come out in front of the class and read a passage. Soon it got to a classmate's turn. Reading. I went into the room and there was so much chaos in the air. It was chaos. And we're confused. Was she trying to say charcoal? But got it. She had mispronounced the word spelled C-H-A-O-S as chaos. She corrected her and left. But as soon as she left, we all burst into laughter. And very soon, she earned the nickname Chaos. In fact, we even tried pinning her, even though she had never made that mistake. She let it go on for a while, and soon she effectively announced that she no longer wanted to be called Chaos, but her actual name. In this case, we had taken a piece of a person and made it the entirety of who she was. And this is something that history refuses to accede to. History lets you know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it brings the good, the bad, and the ugly together to create a mosaic of who we are. So, your history, in order to reject the labels that have been stamped on you, in order to know, then insist that others call you correctly. A child named Danger. I'm sure some of you have stolen meat at some point. Confess, I'm sure you've grown away from that. But nobody goes around calling you, oh, thief, Ayo. Instead, you speak of the good side of yourself. I'm a leader. I'm a director. I'm a Toastmaster who has stolen meat before. Label yourself correctly and then insist others do the same. One thing in my search for history, one thing I have learned, my biggest lesson, to be honest, is that you need to be proactive. History won't come to you. In fact, it has been moved farther away. In 2007, history was taken out of the curriculum in Nigerian schools. And so you need to do even more to know your history. You can read books, You can listen to podcasts. You can follow certain channels, certain handles, or certain accounts on Instagram. I don't know if Twitter is effective yet. You can also watch documentaries on history, but be proactive. A philosopher, John Santanaya, says, a people who have forgotten their history are condemned to repeat it. The search to know about history, to know about your history from your state, your family's history, your town, your and your continent can be tasking, but it's very much worth the task and the energy that you would need. Because remember, you cannot know where you're going to unless you know where you're coming from. The Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, TM Queen. Thank you. I wrote a quote down: label yourself correctly and insist that others do same. Thank you so much for that speech. And we will be moving to the third and final speech of the afternoon. This will be given by TM Komiyo Ehua, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Francis Mukolu. TM Francis is an experienced accountant and a Toastmaster of many years. He's a Triple Crown Toastmaster Educational Award winner. He is a living witness to the quote, "It seems impossible until it is done." He loves to wear a smile so the world can smile back at him. When he's not balancing accounts, he loves to listen to alternative rock music and watch football. TM Francis, could you be kind enough to read Toastmaster Komiyo's objectives to her?
Thank you handsomely, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. I will duly accede and oblige you.
Thank you.
I also accede to the fact that Toastmaster Komiyo has come a long way, a virtue of the fact that she is in level 3 already. Let me quickly read through her objectives. Toastmaster Komiyo, today, we will all assume we are at a social event. So Toastmaster Komiyo, we practice delivering a social speech in front of club members. The speech can be a toast, an acceptance speech, a speech in honor of an individual, that is by the presentation of an award or other type of recognition. Today, I accede to the fact that she will be doing an eulogy. So she will do a eulogy today, rather. So the speech can also be in honor of an organization. I also, once again, accede to the fact Toastmaster Komiyo delivers spiffing speeches, and she will do same today. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Francis. That was very concise and straight to the point. And very quickly, I will be introducing Toastmaster Komiyo, who is a medical doctor with a driven passion for personal and professional development. Komiyo loves to dance. She loves to meet new people, and she enjoys eating good food. We have a lot of foodies in Seaside Toastmasters. You need to have an open house where people can come and eat. But there you go, TM Komiyo, the floor is yours. You need to unmute your mic.
Distinguished guests, including members of the Meadows family, heads of department, Faculty of Basic Medical and Clinical Sciences, graduating class of 2006 Lagos State University College of Medicine, Lasukom. A wise man once said, "It matters not how a man dies, but how he lives." Dorcas lived. I remember the first time we met, being bullied by my mates and peers then in high school was not something pleasant. But Dorcas reached out to me, a timid young girl then. Now look at me. I stand and even speak before tens of people. I accede this feat to Dorcas. Dorcas took a fight that wasn't ours and still won. She became my guardian angel, my best friend. Dorcas was an excellent encourager, a loving friend, a friend present in time of need, sticking closer than a brother. Dorcas was also an outstanding student and a volunteer. Despite the strenuous exercise, activities, and didactic lecture schedule in medical school, in all this, our academic did not suffer because Dorcas was sacrificial. She gave her time, her money, her expertise. In fact, she excelled such that she became the best student in the Department of Pathology, a department that is known to only accede brilliance to the only and very best. My dear colleagues, may I cast your mind back to when Dorcas single-handedly acceded and spearheaded the meeting with the Vice Chancellor when we were having issues with accreditation, an action that brought about an outstanding landmark in our course of training. We are all grateful to her, a woman like a man, yet gentle as a dove. Time indeed will fail me to express all that Dorcas is, and there is nothing we can say or do that can replace even an ounce of her presence. Therefore, I say to the Meadows family, my sincerest and most heartfelt condolences for raising such a vibrant woman. We are eternally grateful. To LASUCOM members of staff, thank you for allowing such a mind to blossom. To the graduating class 2006, thank you for being a second family. Sometimes I forget and take my phone to dial a number, and I realize that though she's not with us physically, Dorcas's presence is engraved in our heart. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to give this eulogy about my best friend. Thank you for your time. The Toastmaster.
Thank you very much for that solemn eulogy, Toastmaster Komiyo. You would all agree with me that all of the speakers today have been nothing short of splendid. I look forward to the feedback, and hopefully everyone has the opportunity to take one or two lessons from all the speakers that have spoken today. Right about now, I will be calling on my general evaluator, Toastmaster Ruth, and her team to give their reports on all of the speeches we have listened to so far. So do we have TM Ruth on the call right about now? Yes, we do. Yeah. Okay. So TM Ruth, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Good afternoon once again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. You will all agree with me that the speeches that we've heard today has been spiffing and raw. I accede to the fact that I have enjoyed every second, and now we'll be moving on to the evaluation of the speeches. So I'll be calling on our first evaluator for Toastmaster, Ibrahim Ajani, Toastmaster Charity. I'm sorry,
Caroline.
Caroline. I'm so sorry, Caroline. My mind was, the name charity was in my mind. Toastmaster Caroline, confirm that you're on the call.
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
Right. Over to you.
Thank you very much, TM Ruth, General Evaluator. It's okay, it happens. TM Ibrahim, confirm that you're still on the call, please.
Excuse me, are we not voting before giving the evaluation?
Okay.
Apologies for that. Can we have the votes before the evaluation? Can the polls for the best speaker go up, and then we would have the evaluation?
Hello, President. Please, can you help share? I'm no longer a host, so I can't share it.
Okay. It's not even coming for me too. So I thought, am I the host?
People are already voting.
Okay, so somebody put it up. That's why.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. Okay. So if we're done with the votes, we would have the first evaluator in the person of Tim Caroline, who is already ready. So Tim Caroline, please deliver the evaluation for Toastmaster Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. Tim Ibrahim Ajani, kindly confirm that you're still on this call.
I am still on this call. Confirmed.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Well done, Tim Ajani. That was a work well done. Well done. I like the fact that you are able to take us through the meaning of your name, which means father of many children, even though you do not have a kid yet, and you plan to have just 2 or 3. Well done. And the other name, Ajani, which means fight to possess. Now I know the meaning of your name, and when I call you the next time, I know what I'm referring to. You also took us through the history of your name, how you got your name, and you got to be named Ibrahim. And you were able to convince us that there is truly something to a name by telling us about Barack Obama, Chimamanda, and the Marcus X, who had changed his name from Marcus Little to Marcus X and to Malik El Shaddai. Well done. You're able to, you're clear enough. Your gesture was on point. Your eye contact was on point. You are aware of your audience. I was actually carried away. I took notes through the end of your speech. One thing you may want to, you are also able to convince us about the fact that there is truly something in the name. But one thing you didn't do, which you should do next time, you're supposed to help us understand the types of persuasive speeches. You didn't achieve that. So next time you should go through your evaluation results and know what is expected of you. In all, you're very great. Thank you for that beautiful speech. And when I want to name my child, I do really consider the meaning of the name. Thank you. Back to you. And one more thing, please. When you're ending your speech, remember to always end well and hand over the baton to the Toastmaster of the day. Back to you, the General Evaluator.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Oh, sorry, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Caroline. Before I move on, I would like to say that you have a very sonorous voice. Man, I'm sure when you sing, the angels too will sing with you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the evaluation. So we'll move on to the next evaluator for today for TM. Sorry, please. For I missed the name again. For Toastmaster Queen Kubre, Toastmaster Amarachi, you have the virtual lectern.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ruth, General Evaluator. So Toastmaster Queen's speech, her objective was basically to give a humorous speech. First and foremost, I must commend you on, even picking this project. I think it's an elective project, and for you to have picked to do a humorous speech, then I must commend you on that. I personally have been running away from picking that project, doing a humorous speech, because I know that it's not easy to make people laugh. It's not easy to make Nigerians laugh in this time that we're in. So well done. Key things I would like to commend, first and foremost, first thing I noticed when I saw you and when I started hearing you speak was your appearance and your background. We were talking about history, African history and all that. And then you look to the part. You came wearing your headgear. That was really beautiful. That was good. And then the background, I saw the different flags of different countries and all. So I thought that was good. It showed that you came prepared to give it to us. Secondly, I like to commend your clarity. Like, there was no ambiguity at all. You were well spoken, good diction. Everything was clear. We got your message. The third thing, I would like to commend the fact that you came sharing the story to us at first. So you didn't try to add humor. What I observed that you did was you were able to find humor in an already existing situation or an already existing story. So you didn't try so hard. You just were able to find it from a story that already existed. So well done with that. I could see, I was just scrolling through some of the videos during your speech, and I could see Toastmaster Ruth, Toastmaster Joy, Toastmaster John, they were smiling. So you were doing something that was making them smile or laugh. So well done. You were able to add, some humor in your speech. I also like the fact that you used quotes. I think Toastmaster Joy had already, said that earlier. And I like the fact that you ended with a call to action. You encouraged us to learn about history, go on IG, go on watch documentaries and all that. So that was brilliant. Well done on that. What do I recommend that you improve on? First thing that I noticed that you didn't greet us. So I mean, if there are people in the audience that would, like greeting. So I mean, you didn't greet your audience. So if I was one of those people, I already be, I might already be disengaged from your speech, but you didn't greet us. But I also like the fact that you kept on smiling. So that made us warm up to you. Also, I would recommend that you, when trying to give a humorous speech, I think role play usually works better. Try to, give a role play of the kind of people that you're trying to exemplify. Third thing is, I don't know if you did this, but it's also important to try and test your humorous speech on people first before presenting. I don't know if you did this, but if you didn't, just something to note. Test the humor first before bringing it to your speech. And also another thing that can help you improve on giving humorous speeches, your vocal variety. I sort of felt you were too calm. I felt that you could have done more with emphasizing some things, was pretty much, it was a bit too calm, in some areas that I thought could be, a lot more lively and you could create more emphasis. So vocal variety is something that you could do better. Thank you very much. But in all, it was a great speech. Well done, well done, well done. The general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amarachi, for that spiffing evaluation. We'll be moving on to the final evaluation for today's meeting, and that will be for Toastmaster Komiyo Ihuwa. She was evaluated by Toastmaster Francis. Toastmaster Francis, can you confirm that you're still on the call?
Yes, I am on this call. Thank you. Toastmaster Komiyo, words and appearance. With your dark shades, like I appear now, it sets the mood for the occasion, and the members of your audience will know why they are there, what the occasion is all about. Well done, Toastmaster Komiyo. Your introduction was very well done. You greeted members of the audience that came for that funeral. You mentioned distinguished guests, medical practitioners, and so on. You also mentioned, you gave a quote that endeared members of the audience to you. A wise man once said, "It matters not how a man died, but it matters the most how the man lived his life." Well done, Toastmaster Komiyo. The story of Dorcas, we all followed through the life and time of Dorcas, the imaginary Dorcas. I hope there's no Dorcas in this room. You will live beyond next day and years to come. This Dorcas does not relate to you. So some drama, you had some drama during the course of your speech. You had to take the handkerchief you had to clean, to wipe your tears, to show that you were deeply touched by the passing away of your great friend. You did quite well. What a loss. What a eulogy for Dorcas. Dorcas, I indeed accede to the fact that this imaginary Dorcas, will indeed be glad that she came in contact with her friend, her chummy, her compatriot, Komiyu. Well done. Some areas of improvement, what I think you would have done better. This is a eulogy. You did quite well by reeling out all the fantastic moments you shared with your friend Dorcas. You used the word of the day freely. Your speech was replete with the word of the day. But the grammarian will burden himself with the correctness of the use of the word of the day. You were filled with passion all through to show the connectedness you had with Dorcas. But I think at certain points, certain instances, you would have been a bit solemn, and in short, you use some pauses to drive home your message. Your conclusion was a bit abrupt. In this instance, a quote to summarize all that you have said about living and making a meaning would count. Well done. I accede to the fact that you nailed this project. You did a fantastic job. And I accede to the fact that you continue to do well and do more. A woman like a man, kind indeed like a dove, the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Francis, for that wonderful evaluation as well. I think at this juncture, we are done with the evaluation of the speeches for today. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, TM Ruth. Very quickly, we'll be calling. Can we have the polls for the evaluators? Okay. I would now call on the general evaluator to call on our team members to give their feedback on how the meeting has gone today. So back to you, TM Ruth.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Joy. Good afternoon again, once again, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Confirm you can hear me, please.
Good afternoon.
Oh,
we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pa Maliba. All right, so we've come to the evaluations portion of the meeting where we get feedback on how we have fared as a club. We also get our role players give us an update on their evaluations of today's meeting. I'll be starting with our grammarian for today, Toastmaster John. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. You have the virtual link then, please.
Thank you so much, our general evaluator, for this meeting. I think you'll all accede with me that we've had a blast today. Now I'll be giving the first report, which is our use of the word of the day. Toastmaster Ruth, our general evaluator, used it once. Our guest, Olorunleke Opeyemi, used it twice. Very impressive. Belema Uduma used it once. Should I say, I was going to say once spoken, but actually used it 3 times in the chat box that I noticed. Well done. Toastmaster Pamalik used it twice in the chat box. Toastmaster Queen used it twice in your prepared speech. Good job. Toastmaster Francis. Toastmaster Francis. Toastmaster Francis used it 5 times. He happens to be our champion. Now, Toastmaster Komio actually used it 3 times, but I don't think she used them accurately, Toastmaster Komio. I'm not sure what definitions you wanted to use to accede. Accede this fits to Dorcas. I don't think that's agree. Accede to the best, and there was one more that did not appear to be accurate. Maybe later on you can let me know what exactly you intended to say. Now, some phrases or sentences that were said that were not quite accurate from my perspective. We would like to welcome all of you for creating time to be at this meeting. My guess is the speaker wanted to say we would like to commend all of you for making time to be at this meeting. Someone said chat, referring to the chat. Someone said key datas. Data is already plural. Datum is the singular form. Vote the person, vote for the person. Consume, using the Z, it should be consume, more S. Many speakers said evaluation. They're Toastmasters and guests. We use this word a lot. Please, let's learn the pronunciation. It's evaluation, evaluator, E. A number of us tend to say evaluation. Honor versus honor, that's the H factor. A speaker said lantern, it should be lectern. A speaker said we lost you when a speaker was disconnected. You have different variants of that. We could not hear you, you had poor connection, but we did not lose that person, please. That speaker was not Dorcas, we did not lose them. And that speaker said assume, the Z sound, it should be assume, the S sound. I liked this play on words. When I landed on this planet, giving us that picture of an alien coming down to Earth, referring to when he was actually born on this Earth, great one. Why anyone would give their child the name Malcolm Little is a little beyond me. I just loved how you just used that word little there again. Didactic lecture schedule. I'm not sure I hear many people use that word didactic. I was quite impressed when I heard it. And sonorous voice, beautiful use of the word. Thank you so much. In conclusion, dear Toastmasters and guests, I would like to leave you with a quote by an author, B.J. Shute. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her last name. She said, grammar is to a writer what anatomy is to a sculptor or the scales to a musician. You may loathe it, it may bore you, but nothing will replace it. And once mastered, it will support you like a rock. Master your grammar. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster John, for that fantastic grammarian report. For want of time, we move on to the next role player for today. Our role player for today was the timer of today's meeting. Toastmaster Pamalik Ba, you have the virtual line time.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. I'm chuffed to report that all the speakers here today kept to time. To go into details, for the table topic segment, which is the time allotted was a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Toastmaster Joy delivered her speech within 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Guest Bashir, or Toastmaster Bashir, spent 1 minute, 50 seconds. And guest Opeyemi spent 2 minutes, 1 second. And Toastmaster Ibrahim Sawane spent 2 minutes, 10 seconds. So for the prepared speech segment, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani had to speak between 5 to 7 minutes. That is a minimum of 5 minutes and a maximum of 7 minutes, 30 seconds. He delivered his speech within 6 minutes, 36 seconds. Likewise for Toastmaster Queen, she delivered her speech within 6 minutes, 21 seconds. And Toastmaster Komio, she had to speak for 3 to 4 minutes, and she delivered her speech within 4 minutes, 13 seconds. So you will all accede with me that all the speakers kept to time. The general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Malikba for that detailed timers report. We'll move on to the final role player for today, our accountant, Toastmaster Richard. Are you on the call?
Yes, I'm on the call.
All right, over to you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Regarding the use of post filler, I can say that the prepared speakers made a lot of effort not to use the post filler, but only Queen used it twice. She used on twice. I was also impressed by the Toastmaster of the day because it was a bit difficult to get post filler in what she was saying. But finally, she used it twice during the table topic. She used on twice during the table topic. The rest of the speakers did well, but 4 people made use of a lot of post filler. Ebube, TM Malik, TM Folu, and TM Obiora. For Obiora, I believe he can improve if he increase a bit the speed a bit. I think he will make less use of post filler. But for Folu, I don't know, but she need to maybe watch anytime she's speaking, because it is like anytime she wants to make a pause, she will use on. So maybe you should replace it by being silent. For TMA Bube and Malik, what you need to do is to watch when you are speaking. This is my feedback, my report for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Richard, for that report. It was quite detailed. I appreciate the effort. Thank you so much. So move on to the final evaluation of today's meeting, the General Evaluator's report. To start, I think the meeting started on time, right? The role players were online as early as about 10 minutes before the meeting. I think that's quite impressive. Thank you to everybody that put in the effort to get here on time. The Toastmaster of the day was properly introduced by the president. We didn't, but okay, one thing I observed was that during the grammarian's report, when he was trying to introduce the word of the day, I noticed that the presentation came quite late. Knowing Seaside Toastmasters Club, I know that's not the norm. So this is a one-off. So I'm just encouraging us to keep up the good work we have been doing previously so that we can get even better going forward. Then all role players, all role players explain their roles very properly. So I'm sure for guests in the house, they can confirm that when they came and they joined the meeting and, for example, they saw the timer, they knew what the timer was going to do. When they saw the accounter, they knew what the accountant was going to do as well. So well done to all our role players for putting the work and the time. Then I noticed that we had a technical difficulty during the course of the meeting when we had the table topics master of the day come up to give his presentation. I think for our own learning, for Seaside Toastmasters Club, it's better for us to have a backup role player for most of our role playing roles, so that if at any point we have any disconnection from network, somebody can pick up the baton and move on with the meeting. So that would be a learning for us. For the table topics section, I think it was explained very well by the table topics master and actually fits into the theme of today's meeting, which is learn to travel. And I'm sure a lot of us here, we have been motivated to learn to also travel. Life is very, very demanding, work life, family life. If you're going to school, your academic life, traveling is a way for you to let off the steam. Is a way, not only that, it can also educate you, but not in a very structured environment. You will learn in a very open and free atmosphere. You get to meet new people. It opens your mind. If you're quite judgmental and you travel, you come back with an open mind. You realize that, man, and it can kind of humble you, right? When you travel and you realize that you're just a pinch of salt in a very, very big, vast ocean. So, yeah. Then I also noticed that we missed the voting for the best speaker when it was time for us to vote for the best speaker. This is not usually our norm in Seaside, so I'm just going to give this one a pass as a one-off. Overall, I think the meeting was quite good. I had so much fun. In fact, I forgot I was junior of today because I was listening so much to the meeting that sometimes I forgot to take notes. So this is kudos to everybody that has put in the effort to make today's meeting a virtual success. I want to encourage all of us that we should keep up the good work that we have done so that Seaside can even go even further. So that will be all for my evaluation for today as the general evaluator. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruth. That was a very accurate account of the proceedings of our meeting today. However, I think that we voted for the best speaker. I got the polls for the best speaker, so I don't know if there was some confusion over there. All in all, thank you for the opportunity to be your host and the captain of this ship as we move towards berthing on the shoreline. I will be honored to return control to the president of Seaside Toastmasters in the person of Toastmaster Ebrima Sawane. Toastmaster Ebrima, over to you.
Wow, thank you very much. Please, let's all clap Toastmaster Joy and our team, all the role players. You will assist with me. Today's meeting was an exciting one. I look forward to continuing with the same speed, passion, and the readiness among the role players in particular in our subsequent meetings. Like the general evaluator said earlier, we had some technical challenges on some of our networks, but we are able to fill in and move speedily on the whole programs. Once again, thank you very much, Toastmaster Joy, for being the captain of the ship today and allowing us to travel along with you with a wonderful team. And without much ado, at every Toastmasters meeting, we like to award our role players just to encourage them. It does not mean that the one who didn't have the award of the best speaker or the best evaluator has not done well. But we do sort of voting and somebody has to win. So I'll move straight to that before I conclude the meeting. Let me share my screen. Okay, so we'll start with the first is the table topic, winner of today's table topic. And that happens to be Guest Suebu. Congratulations, Guest Suebu. We look forward to hearing your feedback on Amala. Now that you are in Lagos, everybody want to know how the Amala goes. So we look forward that maybe in the next meeting you come and tell us what is the taste and the aroma of Amala looks like. I personally love Amala. Next, we have the best evaluator of today's meeting is our own Toastmaster Francis. Congratulations, Toastmaster Francis. Well done. Last but not the least is the best speaker of today's prepared speeches. That's your names matters, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani. Congratulations. Well done. And today being the last meeting of this Toastmasters year, I will personally sign each of these certificates with a biro and send it to each one of you so that you can remember that in the Corona year, as I will call it, because for the past 12 months during this ESCO year or Toastmasters year, we spend all our meetings online from July 2020 all the way to June 2021. Every meeting we did was online. So it's something we will remember among the ESCO and also the members. Just to remind ourselves before we conclude on today's meeting, the theme is learn to travel. We should not take it literally because it encompasses so many other things depending on how you look at it. The key point is that all of us want to be comfortable in our homes, in our jobs, in our countries. But if we learn to travel, we will have a different perspective. Look at it in this way. In all of us, there are two voices. There is a voice that is telling us to be comfortable, to be okay, for us to be lazy, don't explore new things. But there's a voice that is curious, that wants us to grow, that's asking us to learn. And that voice is the voice to travel out of our comfort zones. And the voice that's going to win is the one you fed most. If your voice asks you to travel out of your comfort zone, when you travel, you explore, you enjoy life, you are willing to do more of that. When I was a young boy, maybe 15, 20 years ago, if you asked me to come to Nigeria, it would be the last country I would ever visit in my life. Because we've heard a lot of stories about Nigeria, or we see them on the Nigerian movies. But when I came to Nigeria, it happens to be the best country I've ever lived in my entire life. Because I've traveled, I've seen it, I've met people, and I've known that every country have their challenges. I have traveled. And I encourage you today to travel, because when you travel, you learn. Thank you very much, and hope to see you in our next meeting, which we are working towards making it a physical meeting. Please follow us on the Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook to know more updates about our next meeting. We are planning to make it physical at Echo Hotel in July. And if you follow our social media profile, you will get more updates on these meetings. And we hope to welcome our new ESCO members during the July meeting. Thank you very much once again, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr.